What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I'm furious. This is one of those no nonsense kind of videos, ones where I'm gonna be, brutally honest and upfront with you guys. Yesterday, there was a tweet talking about Amber Heard and Aquaman 2, and it got the fire inside of me. It literally rised, just like Bane wanted, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Now, actually, in reality, that's just a saying because I can believe it, and it further enforces what needs to happen in the future. So what am I talking about? Well, basically, there was a producer on Aquaman 2, as well as Shazam. He did the Suicide Squad, okay? So, he's not an executive producer. He has executively produced things, but he talked about, not firing Amber Heard. And basically what it boiled down to is that was never on the table. They had never once considered it. She had always had the job for Aquaman 2. He said just because some upset Johnny Depp fans online, and actually his actual quote was, "Pure fan pressure isn't a reason to change the casting." And he said, "I don't think that we're ever going to react to, honestly, pure fan pressure. You gotta do what you feel is best for the movie. We felt that if James Wan and Jason Momoa, it should be Amber Heard." That's really what it was. And this is Peter Safwan. I don't know how you necessarily say it, but that's what he said. So, well, look, I mean, there's a couple things you can kind of jump into with that phrase. The first thing I want to say is I'm not surprised, right? Because I have been saying this. Actually, in fact, a lot of people have been saying this. Look, we want petitions to mean something. And I would say, by the way, when you get up close to a 2 million mark online, to ignore that is pretty brain dead, but that's what a lot of these executive people are, is they're flat out idiots. I would say, if you have a petition of I don't know, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, signing it, there's nothing wrong with that. I pushed the Days Gone petition, which I believe reached over 125,000, but I pushed it, and a lot of other people pushed it when it was at 5,000, 10,000, okay? So it's fine to sign petitions. I've never been against it. However, does it really do anything? The answer is we always assumed was most likely no. Now, nobody had ever, commented on it, but the idea was that petitions don't really work, okay? Again, now when you reach up to close to 2 million, the removing Amber Heard has almost 2 million. The bringing Johnny Depp one back, that one, and I've always said I'm a little, upset with those because there's so many different ones that all have okay numbers. The biggest one I do think has 5, 6, 700,000 signatures, which is great. But if you actually pooled them all in, you would get closer to 1+ million, signatures. It's just that people made their own, and then it kind of gets messy of which one did people actually sign. But, again, those are fantastic things. And I think when you reach those numbers, there's something there because 2 million people that say, they don't want her in the movie. Now you got to put your money where your mouth is, right? And if you don't support the movie, it's not $2 million. It's 2 million people buying tickets, watching it on HBO Max, supporting the movie financially. That adds up. That adds up extremely fast. And those are, by the way, just the people that I always say, just people that did the petition. There are numerous people around the world that don't sign. I always say, my mom. My mom's a big Johnny Depp guy. You think she signed the petition? No, she doesn't even know what that is, okay? So, that's the situation. So, does the quote make my blood boil? Of course it does. I think, if you want to nitpick what he said, when he said, it wouldn't be basically what he's saying is we have to do what's best for these films. We can't worry about outside distractions. And, a sports team analogy, I kind of like that. If a team, my team, is trying to trade a player and, you can't bow down to the fans if you have your plan and you're dead. And as long as it's a good plan and you're set on it, I actually kind of respect that in some ways. But let me tell you, what's best for the movie, I'll say this, for Aquaman, it doesn't matter about. Nobody really liked her. She's the weakest part by a mile in the first movie. So in terms of what's doing best, you think replacing, now, okay, maybe Emilia Clarke can't do it because now but maybe she could have, because you could have gotten her before she signed on with Marvel, because you would have done this a while ago. But you're telling me you couldn't find anybody to replace her? You're telling me people couldn't get over the recasting? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about her. So why would it matter? Oh, what? Because they had such an amazing chemistry, on-screen chemistry? They really didn't whatsoever. Again, that was the weakest part of that film, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that because I hate her. I'm saying that I went to see the movie. I loved it. I actually thought it was like the best, like my favorite movie of the year. It was in like my top 3. I enjoyed the heck out of it. But Amber Heard was just literally like every time she was the weakest thing on screen. She was the weakest aspect, character, dialogue, acting, worst, okay? And I don't say that as a person who hates her. I mean, I do, but I just think she's talentless. So what does that mean? And also, you look at that quote. Okay, so, well, look, I can't compare Disney to, because obviously Disney, like this is a producer, and he made it very clear, right, that he doesn't think they're ever gonna do something based off of a petition, right? So, well, okay, so you can't say, okay, well, Disney with pirates, but okay, so you thought what was best for Fantastic Beasts 3 was to fire Johnny Depp. So you don't care about, fans and what they think, because obviously why would you? So you do what's best for the movie. Now, okay, you'll say, well, because of the court case, but nobody cares about the court. Well, okay, and you got to be careful how you say that, right? People do care, but actually people care in the sense that they believe Johnny Depp was, mistreated, and that he actually, like, they didn't hear him out. In fact, and that's the thing, people will always come at me with this or that, and it's like, well, I mean, at the end of the day, she did a lot of stuff, and if you want to be even, then you fire both of them. If you want to take the sense of, okay, well, maybe they both did bad things, but you know what? That's your personal life. We're still gonna work with you. Then you do that with both of them. You be fair. And they were not fair whatsoever. In fact, the court system was very much corrupt. Okay. And another thing I do want to throw in too is the whole: do you get bored of, or do you get tired of, talking about this? And can't you separate the artist from the art? Well, again, Mara is the worst character in the first Aquaman. I hate Amber Heard. I don't want her. I actually don't care if she is in Aquaman 2, as long as Johnny Depp is not fired from his jobs, and it's too late for that. So guess what? Now we go after her. That's literally, and not after her as in like sending threats, after her as in it should just be fair. You know what I mean? That's literally how it goes. So no, I mean, I don't grow tired of it. I think it's always important to talk about, because this kind of spans, this is bigger than just these two. It really is. It's a bigger situation than these two, and it's also just about being fair. And then if I can keep, I hate that idea that keep the artist. Now, and I do that actually for several, trust me, for several artists, but this is a different kind of situation. One thing I do want to say, before I end this video is, well, what do we do now? So, look, at the end of the day, it was always going to be money. Like, if the petitions worked, that would be, like, unbelievable, okay? I would be so happy. But at the end of the day, I think even best case scenario, realistic, was that the petitions would get it in their head. And by the way, I still think this is possible. I don't care what this producer thinks. I still think this is possible. If the petitions at least get the thought in their head, so they know, oh, this many people signed the petition. Oh, we see this Twitter stuff going on nonstop, and if it wasn't clear with Gina Carano, it's clear with all. They know what's going on online. They know people support Johnny Depp and they hate Amber. They know that, but they think that it won't matter in the end because people will still support their movie. So best case scenario was always it would get it into their head and they'd think about it, and then when the movie comes out, we have to speak with our money. Now, one thing I want to say, I'm not shaming people into not seeing the movie, and I don't want it to be perceived like that. I've talked about my kind of internal struggle with, like, do I see Fantastic Beasts 3 because I love Harry Potter? Do I see Fantastic Beasts 3? Do I see the Pirates movies if Johnny Depp's not in them? That's a tough personal decision that you have to make, I have to make, where it's like, do we want to financially support these people? Because it really comes down to you. And so I'm not shaming if you're like, well, I'm gonna pay for Aquaman 2, and that's just what I'm gonna do. There's no other way. I would say, okay. Now, one thing, and not in a shaming way. Now, one thing I would like to say, though, is there are ways of seeing things without paying for them. Okay, and I floated this over on Twitter. Now, I'm not suggesting anything. YouTube, do you hear me? Not suggesting a gosh darn thing. But there are ways of supporting it without paying. Now, would you be able to see it maybe in the big screen? Probably not. The odds of that happening would be pretty low. I saw somebody say, well, maybe if you bought... I'm not going to float ideas because that's probably bad for YouTube. But there's like one way of doing it, I guess, for the theaters without paying money, okay, and that's not a good idea. And then, at home, there's plenty of ways of figuring it out without paying money. So here's what I would say. Even me, like, I do want to see Aquaman 2. I do want to see this Pirates movie to see if it fails. I do want to see Fantastic Beasts 3 to see if it fails. But like I can't. At this point, I think I've actually made my own, because remember, over the past like year or so, I've been very conflicted as to what to do. I've made my decision. I'll watch them, but I'm not giving them a goddamn cent. Not one penny. And that's the thing, guys. I mean, I know it's gonna be tough when Aquaman 2 comes out. It's gonna be tough when Pirates comes out. It is. It's how it works. Okay, it's gonna be tough. But if we really want this to end, truly, like, if you're tired of me talking about it, if you're tired about anybody talking about it, if you want it to end, we need to do something. That's it. You need to do something. And even someone like me, I feel like at some point have to put my money where my mouth is. I hate her. I do. I hate the idea of her in Aquaman 2 at this point because of everything that's happened. We need to take a stand, and signing an online petition clearly isn't enough. Clearly, they admitted they could care less about what we think. And because, again, they think, well, it's only 2 million people. And out of those 2 million people, how many are actually not going to go see the movie? Well, I have a surprise in store for them. I hope, I actually get nervous because of, the ramifications if we're wrong. I hope people are going to, stick to what they say. Those 1.9 million people that signed the petition, if every one of them did not see the movie and they convinced one or two people that they know to not go to theaters to see that movie, you could bring this thing down by 100 million plus. And maybe that doesn't sound like a lot, but, I don't think 2 was ever going to reach what 1 did. Did 1, I think it crossed $1 billion, right? There's no way I think 2 does that. Number 1. Number 2, so I think it automatically is going to be lower. If we can take 150, 200 million from it, and we can make it very clear it's because of her, well, now suddenly they start to listen. I mean, the funniest thing about the entire thing, final thing I'll say, funniest thing about the entire thing, they're all talk. They are all talk, and yeah, they sound like they're supporting her so well right now because it's what's best for the movie. It's not what's best for fans. It's not, they don't care what we say. It's best for Amber. It would just get messy if we fired Amber Heard, okay? They say that now, but I promise you. Now, I don't know if this would happen, but say the movie makes $200, $300, $400 million. Say it bombs in terms of what an Aquaman 2 should do, and then say it literally bombs. They would listen 100%. They go. Now, could they make excuses? Sure, but I think behind the scenes they really have to say, all right, we're not actually idiots. We do a lot of things for like brownie points online. We do things for like wokeness, stuff like that. But really, we're not actually brain dead because we run a company. The reason people didn't go see this movie is because of her. Now, maybe there's other, maybe the script wasn't perfect. Maybe it got repetitive. There's other reasons. But the biggest reason why we lost $200-300 million was because of her. We have to do something, or we have to stop the franchise. And that's something I do 100% think will happen if we make a big enough stand. So, it's tough. It makes me mad. I get people being tired of it all. I understand it, but you have to do something. And sadly for those people, we're only at the beginning because we have the whole promotional stuff, which we have to be loud. And then we have when the movie comes out, which we have to be even louder. And then not just be loud, but not go see it. Not even not go see it, but just don't give them money in any way. They cannot receive money from people for Aquaman 2. That's how you make the point. And again, the line of what's best for the movie, yeah, because so replacing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald when he was the best part of the garbage movie that was 2. Fantastic Beasts 2 sucked, but he was really good. And I guess there was a couple other good things, but he was great. I personally thought nobody wanted him gone. Like, there's a lot of problems with 2, but going into 3, did anybody say, oh yeah, what's best for the movie is we replace Johnny Depp? Who said that? Did anybody say, oh yeah, it's probably best that, we do a Margot Robbie spinoff for Pirates? And no Johnny Depp. Oh, and let's fire him from 6 because nobody really let's be honest, nobody liked him in 1 through 5. So it's like, what? Like, that's what's best? Now, again, that's not Disney. You only have to go for WB. So yeah, what's best for the movie? For Aquaman is to keep her. What's best for Fantastic Beasts is to fire him. which just messes up that entire thing. So yeah, that, you know, again, they're two-faced. They say one thing, and I guarantee you they think another. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure if you guys haven't already, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, so you know when all these videos go up. Give the video a like, would definitely help. All of my social media stuff is in the description below if you guys want to check it out. My Twitter, my second channel. We have Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to support us there as well. You get exclusive things back to you. All again in the description below, except for the join button, which is YouTube memberships. That's next to the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all on the next video.